Welcome back, consumer math students. We are going to continue with our math interactive notebook, day 2. Day 1 we started to talk about budgeting. Those were the pink pages. Today we are going to go to more of the peach colored pages, 9.2. We are going to play what we call the bean game. In the bean game, you are going to be given 20 beans and a table, which is on the next page. It looks like this. And in each one of these boxes, you need to put some beans and make a choice. So for the first box, you could choose living with a family, sharing utilities. You could choose living in an apartment or renting your own place. You will choose one of those. For food, you will choose one of those options. It tells you how many beans you spend. As you go through this sheet, though, you need to keep a tally because you can only spend 20 beans. However, there are some options that you can choose that will cost you nothing. So under furnishings, you can choose to use secondhand furniture for friends and family. That could be your choice, but it saves you some beans that you might be able to spend somewhere else. So as I said, you will start with 20 beans. You have to use all your 20 beans. The way you show your beans is you will put capital O in that yellow column. If you find one of those no cost options like we had talked about with furnishings, you are going to put an X. So here's our example. If you choose to share an apartment which costs 3 beans, you will put 3 capital O's under share an apartment. I had them in the wrong spot. So 3 beans. If you choose to go no cell phone, which maybe I should do, I'd save $100. Then you would put an X. It doesn't cost you any beans. So at the end of the day, all of the columns, all the boxes need something spent. But an X counts as spending, but you need to spend all your 20 beans. So on to the next page. You're going to do your spending in the different categories: food, clothing, insurance, transportation, recreation, furnishings, communication, personal career care, gifts, and savings. When you're done with that, we're going to go back to the page above and we're going to spin. You're going to spin twice, and based on how you spin, you will have to add or subtract things. Down to the bottom of our first page for today, you say spin in the wheel. So we're going to spin twice. We're going to click on that to open it up, and I'm going to spin once. And it landed on broken leg, health insurance, do nothing, no health insurance, I lose 3 beans. So I go back to my page 2 of the chart. And you see under insurance, I've got auto, I put stuff under health and property. You had to choose each one of these categories. For auto, I chose the liability coverage, which cost me 2 beans. For property, I chose no coverage, which cost me nothing, which was an X. But it says I broke my leg, and when I broke my leg, I had to lose 3 beans. So it's a good thing I had health insurance, so I don't lose any beans. But let's just pretend that I had no health insurance. I would have to go somewhere else on the table and take away 3 beans. It may take a few categories. For example, if I had a limited cell phone plan, I could take 2 of my beans from there, and then I would need to find one more spot to take my 3rd bean from. So maybe I had a bean under streaming. Oops, capital 0. So I might decide that I'm going to lose that bean as well. So because I lost 3 beans, I'm down to 17 total on my chart. So as you see, as you go on to the next spin, you're going to have to figure out what you're taking away or adding as you shift your budget around, because life events happen and oftentimes we have to shift our budgeting and spending. When you're done with the bean game, you're going to go to our third page. Page 3 is entitled Save for Later, and we're back to talking with our friend Sharon. Once Sharon lends some clarity on Alana's pay, she feels slightly better, but she's still really worried about her initial problem. This is going to be extremely difficult for me to cut anything. I mean, I'm working hard, and I think I deserve to enjoy money that I earn. To save that $3,000 for college, I basically need to work an extra 25 hours per month. It's my senior year in high school, and I need to focus on my grades and apply for college. I'm so confused. Sharon thinks back to where their conversation started last month on how lost Alana seemed. She hoped that having Alana prioritize her goals and review her spending would help her gain some necessary perspective. But Sharon realizes that Alana is at a dead end. So the next idea is to outline a few options for Alana so she can choose a solution that will work best for her. So you are going to outline some options for you / Alana. And hopefully playing the bean game has helped you think about how to prioritize and shift your spending. So question number 7. What 2 or 3 options would you outline for Alana to help her achieve her goal? Be ready to discuss with her the pros and the cons of working more versus finding ways to adjust her budget. Be specific with your recommendations and highlight the specific costs or income sources. So please, down here, we'd like you to list 2 or 3 options, positives and negatives, of either working more hours or ways in which she can specifically cut spending. Please be as specific as possible on this page. And when you're done here, you're going to complete your exit ticket back on Schoology. Have a good day.